Hi, this is number 18 in the Chapter 5 MyLab. It says use the normal model N10110. That means the mean is 101, standard deviation is 10, for the IQs of sample participants. A, what IQ represents the 10th percentile? B, what IQ represents the 94th percentile? C, what's the IQR of the IQs? IQR meaning interquartile range. So first, let's make a sketch here. So it always helps to make a sketch. So here we have the horizontal axis. 101 is in the middle. Here's our normal curve. Standard deviation, it says, I think it was 10. Yeah, standard deviation is 10. So that's be 111. So 101 plus 10 is 111, plus 10 is 121, plus 10, 131, and then minus 10. 101 minus 10 is 91, minus 10 is 81, minus 10, 71. Okay, so we know that roughly 68% of people would have an IQ between 91 and 111. 95% have an IQ between 81 and 121. Okay, so that helps for a rough estimate. Now, the first question, it says 10th percentile. So in other words, the lowest 10%. Okay, so you can get a rough estimate. It's probably something like this. The z-score is probably like -1 point something. So I'm just estimating that's probably about the lowest 10%. So if I just needed a rough estimate, I would say probably like mid-80s maybe. But we can get an exact answer or a precise answer from that website. And so on the homepage of Canvas, we have the link to the website, and here's the website right here. And so just type in the numbers. So the mean is 101. Standard deviation was 10. And then with these questions, when you're given the percentage and you have to figure out the IQ score in this case, you go to the pink box and you type in 10%. So that would be 0.10. And then I'm looking for the lowest 10%. So on the box here, it says X greater than. I want the less than because I'm looking for the lower tail. Except it switched. So just go back to 10%. There we go. Press enter. So there it is. We have the normal curve. 101's in the middle, but the scaling, they just made the scaling by 20s. So we have here the lower 10% right there, and the score is 88.18448. And remember, if you remember, the rounding is very particular. So back to the question. So it says round to 1 decimal place as needed. So 1 decimal place would be 88.18. So round that to 88.2. Okay, just a quick refresher on rounding here. 88.18. So 1 decimal place, the number after that 1 is bigger than 5, so you round to 88.2. All right, so let's type it in. 88.2. Okay, and fantastic. Okay, we got it right. Okay, now on to part B. Okay, part B is 94th percentile. So that means the lowest 94%. And so just go back to the website and type in 0.94 and press enter. Okay, so 94th. So that word percentile just means 94% of people have IQ lower than that score. And so there it is. So there's the 94th percentile, and the IQ score for it is 116.547. We'll round that to 116.5. All right, let's type that in. Again, it says 1 decimal place, 116.5. Okay, excellent. All right, and then part C. Okay, part C says interquartile range. So remember, interquartile range means interquartile range means the third quartile minus the first quartile. And what is this third quartile? Third quartile is the upper 75, the 75th percentile, if you want to think it in those terms. So you could think of it like, here's the upper 25%, and then the first quartile would just be the cutoff for the lower 25%. So let's erase this lowest 10%, and the lower 25% is probably something like this, right there. So what are those numbers? So I'm guessing lower, maybe 108, 107, something like that for the third quartile. Lower quartile is probably like lower 90s, I'm guessing. But again, we'll just go to the website and use the website here. So back to here, mean is still 101, standard deviation is still 10. So now I want, I'll just do I'll start with quartile 1. So the lower 25%, click less than if it's not already clicked. Press enter. Okay, so right here we have the lower 25% of the curve shaded in, and the score for that is 94.25. I'm not going to round off yet. I'll round off at the very end. So let's just write that down for reference. 94.2551. Okay, so 94.2551. That's my first quartile. Okay, now I'll subtract that from the third quartile. Back to the website. So now third quartile, you can think of it as the lower 75%. So there it is. There's third quartile, or the upper 25, either way, which is 107.7449. Let's write that down. So 107 points, what was it again? 7449. Okay, so there's the third quartile minus first quartile. So now let's just get out a calculator and subtract, and we will have our answer. So third quartile, 107.7449 minus first quartile, 94.2551 equals 13.4898. Now I'll round off to 13.5 because the number after the 4 is 5 or higher. So 13.5, and we'll type it in. Okay, so 13.5. Good job. All right, and that's it.